See what he can do in the midst of unbelievers, on the leading edge with his word, his power, his grace, and his mercy. For God's sakes, we're Lutheran. This is what we know.
Wittenberg Project, like, comment, subscribe. We got a little Patreon, help us basically improve things and reach out to the community. My question now is, what now? What now? We have this huge election in the United States. People feel certain ways about it. Some people are ecstatic. Some people are just sad, mad, a whole bunch of things. But what now? Because there is a tomorrow. So what now? The answer that I like is, I'm still gonna go plant an apple tree. That's a play off the quote. Someone asked Luther a long time ago, if you knew the world was going to end tomorrow, what would you do? And his answer was, I still would go plant an apple tree. Meaning that we're still called, no matter who is in charge or who is over us, as far as the government, as far as things of that nature, to be Christian and live our life and love neighbor and share the gospel and just show Christ's love to the world. Be that city on a hill. Be that light without the, you know what I'm saying, the basket or whatever over it. You know, let your light shine. You know what I'm saying? We're still called to do that, no matter what. No matter what. And I think a lot of people are so caught up in opposing things or standing for things in regards to, in particular this election, but other things in general, that they lose sight of that. You know, so what now? Our focus should remain the same. Our focus should remain the same. Our Christian walk, our piety, all those type of things shouldn't change because of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, issues that we were addressing before, things we were standing up for, things we were trying to help, we don't change that. You know, there's always going to be somebody in need. There's always going to be someone who needs to hear the gospel. There's always going to be somebody who's cold and can use a jacket. A few examples, you know what I'm saying? But what now? It's something that a lot of people have to wrestle with. And when your faith isn't in God and it's in other things, sometimes it's easy to get caught up in placing your hope in that. Placing your hope in, the world's going to... get all caught up and worked up about it when you already knew that. You know what I'm saying? Like, no man is going to come fix everything. There's always going to be something that we have to address, period. You know, until Jesus returns, this world is not going to be perfect. And that's why it's so important that when you go to church, you hear Christ crucified. You hear about Jesus taking your sins, dying for you, redeeming you, telling you go forth and bear the good fruits I laid before you. It's so important that we keep our eyes placated on Golgotha, at the foot of the cross. Because when you get caught up in these gangs of liberal, conservative, Democrat, Republican, wherever you want to do, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I have a lot of friends that, you know, like, they hate Trump. You know what I'm saying? And even though their guy won, Biden, they're still 100% just so focused on that guy, they're not even looking at, okay, this is over, on to the next, let's keep building God's kingdom and showing God's love. Now they're stuck in that situation of hate to where it's almost as if there is no tomorrow. It's just this, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, the election happened, it's over, you know what I'm saying? And on the other side, there's some people who were so dead set on Trump. You know what I'm saying? We need more of this, we need more of this, fight abortion, this and that, which I'm not saying you shouldn't, you know what I'm saying? But, okay, he lost. What now? Is your whole goal now just to oppose the Democratic Party? Like, oh, I'm going to fight them and they're evil, they're evil. Okay. You still have a neighbor that needs to be helped next to you. There's still other things, there's still people who need the gospel. And if you're so focused on this guy or this guy, it's like, what's the saying? You can't see the trees from the forest. It's not really a popular phrase in my hood or where we grew up at. You know what I'm saying? But I know it, you know what I'm saying? Certain phrases that, you know, you hear people say, you know what I'm saying? You might hear Tom and Becky say it every now and then, or their parents, but I never heard it really growing up. So if I butchered the quote, you know what I'm saying? My bad. I feel like George Bush when he said, you know,
there's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, fool me once, shame on you. If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
If you fool me once, shame on you. You fool me twice, you're just not gonna fool me again. You're not gonna fool me again. You know what I'm saying? But we have to keep our hope in things heavenly. We have to keep our hope and our motivation in that. You know what I'm saying? And like, there's still things that need to be done. Like, for instance, racial justice. Hot topic. You know what I'm saying? True rich people fighting for that, and they were saying, you know, Trump's a racist and this and that, and they're going hard for trying to improve things regarding Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd, and things like that. Yes. You know what I'm saying? We also have to acknowledge that Trayvon Martin and other things happened before Trump. So we can't just think everything's fine and dandy now because, oh, Trump lost. Okay, forget the issue. No, there's still justice and injustice in the world. Police brutality is still an issue. And let's get this out of the way now. Even if a white guy gets beat by the police incorrectly or wrongly, and it's unjust, it's still unjust. I don't get that. I don't get how people will say, oh, black people only get mistreated by the cops this little number of times. That little number's still wrong. However you want to view it, it's still wrong. And when it happens to an Asian person, a white person, even though it's probably less or it might be equal, it's still wrong. It's still wrong. So it's still an issue, police reform and things of that nature. Now, I'm not saying defund the police. You know what I'm saying? Don't unsubscribe. What I'm saying is we still have to keep our eye on things and have our same Christian principles and our same goals. Things don't change like that. You know what I'm saying? So when someone says what's next, I'm still gonna plant my apple tree, bro. Like I'm still gonna look for my neighbor who needs help. I'm still gonna share the good news of Jesus Christ. I'm still going forth with the same passion and the same zeal I had before. You know what I'm saying? Because whoever's in present office, it's not gonna fix everything. Like an example, and this isn't to bash nobody, but during the month of May, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, right? A ministry came out called L4RJ, Lutherans for Racial Justice. You know, I was excited. You know what I'm saying? Like a group body that's gonna address issues and stuff of that nature. Now, I'll admit, I think that I had more of an overall goal that's different than what they had. You know what I'm saying? I think they're just focused on things within the denomination, you know? Okay, you know what I'm saying? But I hope now that Trump's out of office that they don't just be like, oh, well, hey, everything's good, we won. You know what I'm saying? Like, and just give up the fight for what they're trying to achieve. You know what I'm saying? Because, side note, we have to realize that God is in control. And that goes for even when Trump was elected to today. You know, we don't place our hope in that. Things might get worse, things might get better for people. But there's a lot of idolatry going on. Like, it's people on both sides. Like, sure, you can be happy your side won, you can be sad your side lost. But if you're relying on them to really make the world a better place, like save the world in a sense, your hope might be in the wrong thing. Our hope has to be in the fact that God is still here for us. God is still in charge. Like, there's a thing called left and right kingdom. A lot of people don't like it. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of it, but it does put things in a proper perspective. Flame, the hip hop artist, Christian hip hop, he has a new little EP out. Please check it out. You know, but he has a song called Two Realms. And pretty much it delves into the aspect of right hand, left hand. On one side, it's about salvation and things of that nature. The other side, God has enabled us to have dominion, to be biblical. Genesis, the first commission He gave us over the world, and you know, make things better, help, and just love our neighbor. You know, and it's a great perspective, because you have to realize that no matter what goes on, as Christians, we're still called. Our call doesn't change. Our call doesn't change. So we have to love our neighbor, find things we can do to help, show them that God is there for them, and God has been and always will be there for them, through the good and the bad. Through the good and the bad. God isn't, He's not flimsy with it. He's not, oh, I'll help you today, I'm not going to be there tomorrow for you. It's not how it works. Like I said, it's a lot of idolatry. People are acting as if, you know,